All right, let's continue with the word of the Most High. As I was saying, between Malachi and Matthew is a gap in history. And if you don't know history, which you all should know about the Greek Empire, because they teach you of themselves in the regular colloquial schools and even with theology in cemetery schools. They teach you of themselves. I mean, they're the ones that you see in the Bibles, so-called white people. So in between Malachi is in the Persian Media Empire, and I went to the First Maccabees and Second Maccabees to show you how they made it against the law to be even called an Israelite in the Greek Empire. But see, you see here, go to Daniel's 8 and 20. It says, well, let's look at verse 19. Daniel's 8 and 19. It says, and he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed the end shall be. Right? The last end of the indignation, when it's going to come, the last day, say, the ram which thou sawest, having two horns, are the kings of Media and Persia. This is a joint kingdom. They had two horns. I mean, it's like hip talk, but it's not something that, if you don't know history, or the story of the Bible that coincides with the truth of the true history, then what does that mean to you? The Medes and the Persia. What does that mean? The Persian Mede Empire. Because that's what I've told you, that you see that Malachi is in, the last prophet, up until that point. So that's the Persian Mede Empire. Then look what happened next. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. Give me an understanding of what's already been said within the chapter. Say, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia. Who would be who? Alexander the Greek. But if you don't know anything about history, then you can't put this together. It's a mystery. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. See? Who is Alexander the Greek, which we read in First Maccabees 1 and 1 previously. It says, now that being broken, when he died, whereas four stood up for it, four of his generals stood up for his kingdom that he had ruled and taken down the Persian Mede Empire, being the superpower of the earth at the time, the Greek Empire. Four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. Because Antiochus wanted to take down all of them. That wicked Edomite, look. And in the latter time of their kingdom, so it has to be whose kingdom? The Edomites' kingdom. Esau's kingdom, because it's still talking about who? Alexander the Greek. And he set up his four generals, what no other nation. He set up his people. Point blank, just like it is today. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, like America. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, because we know Satan told him, he showed him all the kingdoms in a moment of time. He said, all could be thou if you do what? Bow down and worship me. You can have it all. So that's what they do. That's why it says not by his own power, but the power of Satan. And he shall destroy wonderfully. Hear that? He's going to destroy wonderfully. That's why you look at Wisdom 5 and 6. When salvation is coming to the Israelites, he's going to say we weird ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. You know what he was saying? And he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper. I mean, come on. And practice. And shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. Killing us. Zechariah 11 and 5. Whose oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Destroy the mighty and the holy people. I mean, come on. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Who the holy people? But Deuteronomy 1:1. So you know who it's talking about. This is how you get the understanding of who these books are talking about. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel, not no one else. The 12 tribes of Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness, right? So the book of Deuteronomy is talking to Israel, the Israelites. So when you go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6, this from the Most High. For thou art an holy people. Who? The children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. He say, for thou art an holy people, unto the Most High thy power, your power. The Most High thy power, or your power, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's what the Most High said. So when you see in verse 25 of Daniel's, verse 24 of Daniel's, the 8th chapter, it says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, because he rolling with Satan. And he shall destroy wonderfully, dropping bombs on people and killing. Like you say, they wear themselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. And shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. Come on. You start from the time of coming over here in 1492 all the way to now. All the way to now, just destroying us. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, telling you that you're a Gentile, and telling you got to follow him like he set himself up to be the Most High of Mashiach Yahushai, all the people of the Bible. Come on, craft to prosper in his hand, because he had the ability to do it. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, magnify himself in his mind, be prideful. And by peace shall destroy many. Hear that? By peace shall destroy many. We're trying to get this peace in the Middle East, destroying people. Wherever. He said they wearied themselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes. He gonna stand up against Hamashiach Yahushua, the anointed Savior, the Son of the Most High. But he shall be broken without hand. That's the end result. You read Ezra. You can read Ezra. Ezra, the 13th chapters. 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. He said, "There will be nothing but dust and smell of smoke against the army, the navy, the marines, the air forces that come against." He's telling you, he shall stand up against the prince of princes. The Mashiach Shai is the prince of princes, right under the Most High. But he shall be broken without hand. So he'll be broken without hand. Because Mashiach Shai, because it's gonna be hand goes out of his, he gonna destroy him from his mouth. And he told you in Isaiah 47:3, he said, let's look at it. Because he ain't coming as a man, he coming as angelic spiritual power. Isaiah 47:3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, meaning you're going to be exposed for your wickedness. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. All the shameful things that you do against, or they do against the Most High's law, statute, commandments, it's going to be seen. I will take vengeance. He said, I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. It's done. Finished. Daniel's 8:26. And the vision of the evening and the morning, which was told, is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. We're waiting for this to happen, hopefully in our time. And I, Daniel, fainted. He fainted after hearing all this and was sick certain days. Made him sick. Afterward, I rose up and did the king's business. And I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. Hear that? Because it's a mystery. Like some of you might not understand it. You might say, I don't believe that. Because you think that these kingdoms going to last forever and ever and ever. And it's not true. That's why you see, he said you're going to be broken without hand. And all you that's joined to them going to be broken without hand too. You're going to fall by the sword. Look, Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. This is Princess of Mashiach Yahushai, the anointed Savior. He's called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he does judge and make war. Hear that? He's coming back to judge and make war. So it says that in Daniel's 8:25, he shall also stand up against the Prince of Princes. He gonna stand up against the Mashiach Yahushua, but he shall be broken without hand. Right? So let's see what it says. Revelation 19, he says he's coming to judge and make war. See what it says in verse 15. And out of his mouth, this ain't his hand, out of his mouth, he ain't coming as a man, out of his mouth go up a sharp sword. Out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite, which means kill the nations. And he shall rule them with the rod of iron. That rod of iron is the word of the Most High. His laws, such commandments. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power. Now here it goes. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Power of Powers. See? So either you're going to be with him or you're going to be against him. You heard that? Either you with us or you're against us. So either you're going to be with the Mashiach Yahushai, whereas you are with him now as an Israelite, or you're against him. You can be a Gentile if you want to. You're gonna fall right with them. That's why, look. Go to 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. And we're gonna look at verse 10. The number of thy children whom thou hast, hold on. Bear with me. You have to bear with me. My books are used, and they I have to use others to. Your sword, you might have a sword that's used and it's supposed to be raggedy. Mine is raggedy. But it have all that I need in it. It's written all in it. All kind of ways. So we're in 2nd Ezra 2 and 40. 2nd Ezra 2 and 40. See, I even called out the wrong number. It says, take thy number, O Zion, and shut up thou those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Most High. The number of thy children, whom thou longest for, is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Most High, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number. And they all praised the Most High with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, who was the Mashiach Yahushua, taller than all the rest. He ain't coming as a man. It says, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted. So to be more exalted, you have to be exalted to be more exalted. That's why you hear Bahashama Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the anointed Savior over and over again in this day and time. Because that's the only way we're going to reach the Most High. He said, no man comes to the Father but by me. You ask anything in my name, I would do it, that the Father could be glorified in the Son. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns. That's powers from authority, people. Giving 144,000, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel their power. And was more exalted. So the 144,000 going to be exalting on Mashiach Yahushua. Ain't about man. Ain't about me. Ain't about another man or any man. We ain't going to be saved. Ain't no man going to save us. Mashiach Yahushua going to be more exalted at this time when he put the crowns on 144,000 heads. He going to be more exalted. Which I marvel at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These are they that have put off the mortal clothing, these mortal bodies that we have, and put on immortal. That means immortal bodies. Meaning we're going to be able to live forever and ever and ever. Eternal life. And have confessed Yahweh Shama Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the anointed Savior Most High. Now are they crowned? Crown mean what? Now are they given powers from authority and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? Since they say that Mashiach Yahushua is not in the Old Testament, let's see what it says. So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High. The Mashiach Yahushua right here. This is not the New Testament, this is the Old Testament. With whom they have confessed in the world. In the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name Yahweh Ba'Shama Mashiach Yahushua. That's beautiful. So we have went to pretty much the conclusion of the whole matter in this particular time that we were able to speak. That hey, that's not coming to anyone else, any other nation. That he putting crowns on their head. When you read Revelation 7, the 4th verse to the 8th verse, that's the 144,000, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel. Since y'all say they've done away with, no. Each tribe is a nation that's part of a nation. But you're not going to be there if you think you're a Gentile. You're not an Israelite because you're not going to do the things that an Israelite will do if you're a Gentile. You're going to do what you want to do. You're going to do just what they want you to do to go to hell with them. You're not going to take off the mortal and put on immortal. You can't. Because you're going to be doing whatever you want to do that's contrary to what the Most High said we must do. We don't have a choice. Go to Deuteronomy 28th chapter. We're going to go on to verse 64. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And see, when you understand how the Most High told us in Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Let's go there first. So you know why it's going to be so detrimental in hearing what he did to us. He told us, but it shall come to pass. It's the future. When it says shall, that's the future. If was a condition, thou would not hearken, meaning listen, unto the voice of the Most High, thy power. The voice has a word. It brings forth words. And the Mashiach is the word of the Most High, but here he's an angel. He's a spirit. He's not in the flesh. He's a spirit. It's like he's a spirit on the right hand side of the Most High now. Because remember, flesh and blood cannot enter before the Most High. Can't stand before the Most High, flesh and blood. That's when people say the Most High is here. The Most High said, heaven is my throne. He said, earth is my footstool. Put your heel on the earth. That's him. When you put your foot on a little stool, whatever, that's the earth underneath there. That's his heel. Footstool. He said, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So let's look at, from verse 16 all the way to 68, are the curses that befell we, the 12 tribes of Israel, because we ain't listen. Like a lot of us don't want to listen today. As you hear this message, you're not going to listen, but it's okay, because you are sealing your own fate. When this earth started, Most High he got the angels holding back the destruction. He gonna let them go. He gonna let them go, tear this place up. It's only a certain amount of time, and as I hear in the spirit of the Most High, brothers coming out saying we got to keep the laws of the Most High, come back to the laws of the Most High, you know it's getting closer, because that's following his rules and regulations. And as we get closer and closer, you're going to see this. Let me just show you. Go to Revelations, the 7th chapter, in verse 1. It said, after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. So you got an angel on the north, the south, the east, and the west. Doing what? Holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So they holding back the destruction that's getting ready to come on this earth. You got an angel on the north, angel on the south, angel on the east, angel on the west, that's ready to let this destruction go forth. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth. So these angels are waiting to hurt the earth. And the sea. Saying to these angels that's holding back the destruction, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So who are the servants? You must know this. By the time you get to Revelation, you should know all of this. The servants, who are they? Anyone that call on the name of the Lord? As y'all say? No. Go to Isaiah 44:1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant. So they're Israelites. That's got to be sealed in their minds with this truth. In Israel, whom I have chosen. Verse 2. Isaiah 44:2. Thus said the Most High that made thee and formed thee from the womb. So you ain't going to be no spiritual Israelite. Most High formed. He said, I made you and formed you from the womb as an Israelite, which will help thee. He's our help. Fear not, O Jacob, only fear the Most High. Say, fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and our Zezron, whom I have chosen. Jump up to verse 21. Because we looking at who the servants. It says servants. Verse 21. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. Come on. So now, when you see in verse 3 of Revelation 7:3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants who are the children of Israel of our power. The men of the children of Israel, in their foreheads, in their minds. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. You can't get no clearer than that. Because the Most High could have said, all the tribes of all the nations. But what did he say? All the tribes of the children of Israel. There it is. So, as we go through this lesson, if you're not an Israelite, and let me make something clear too, because a lot of you go to church and they didn't program you to think verse 9 because see, from verse 4 to 8 is dealing with 12,000 of each of the tribes of Israel. That he's just telling you that this 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, which make up the 144,000, 12 times 12 is 144. So add this the three zeros on the end, you got 144,000. So when you go to verse 9, just when you the theologians that I went to cemetery school try and bring in all other nations. But let's see if that's true or not. Let's break that down and smash that right quick. Revelation 7:9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. Keep that in mind. After this I beheld, and a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. And we know the white robes are the righteousness of the saints. So let's see about this great multitude that stood before the throne and before the Lamb, who is the Mashiach El Shaddai, the Lamb of the Most High, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Let's see who that is. That great multitude. Because it's pretty much not known. Now go to 2 Ezra 3:16 in the Apocrypha. Here's the answer. And unto him thou gavest Isaac. Gave Abraham Isaac. And unto Isaac thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose, as we just read, him to thee. So the Most High chose Jacob, who's the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, unto himself. Listen, pay attention, and put Esau by. Put him to the side. Listen, and so Jacob became a great multitude. There's your great multitude right there. Jacob became a great multitude. Can't get no clearer than that. Now, if you still doubt in your mind, let's go back to Revelations. So we're dealing with Gentiles, so you should want to be not no spiritual Israelite, but a physical Israelite that the Most High just said he formed us from the womb. That's not nothing to do with spiritual. Learning the knowledge of what we bringing forth, and now you're an Israelite. No. You got to be born an Israelite from the womb. So now, going back to Revelations 9 and 10. And cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our power. Salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. So who is the Most High the power of? Now you got to answer that. He's the power of our fathers. We know that. Acts 3:13. The power of Abraham is answering the question. When it says, inquire with a loud voice in verse 10, saying salvation to our power. Who is he? The power of. That they can say our power. Because our is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. Here we go. Acts 3:13. The power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob. The power of our fathers. See? That's the Most High. He told us in Exodus 3:15 and 16. Look. Exodus 3 and 15. And the power said, moreover, unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Most High Yahweh of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. So when they say our power, can it be the power of Abraham, Ishmael, and his descendants? No. Can it be the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau? He just said he put by Esau, because Abraham had Ishmael before he had Isaac, but the Most High chose Isaac. That's why he let you know. He said the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, this is my name forever, the memorial to all generations. So a lot of you want to deal with this I am that I am, but what did he tell Moses to tell the elders? You got to keep reading. Verse 16. Go and gather the elders of Israel. Each tribe had elders that was over them to go gather them together and say unto them, the Most High power, Yahweh of your fathers. That's what it says in Hebrew. The power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob appeared unto me, saying, don't say nothing about I am appeared unto him. Say the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. So when you look at verse 2, Exodus 3 and 2, and the angel of the Most High appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. Angel of the Most High identified himself as the I am. And the Mashiach told you, but those that have ears, that hear. Some don't want to believe it. Most High always, who is it that can say they done seen the Most High? That's him? There? No, he always had a message. We just read, angel was dealing with who? Daniel, angel dealing with Ezra, all the prophets, like the angel spirits are dealing with us. If you in the spirit, be able to accept it and recognize it, and give glory to the Most High. Look, St. John. Look at St. John 8 and 53. It says, art thou greater than our father Abraham? They talking to, these the Israelites talking to Mashiach Yahushua. So you greater than our father Abraham, which is dead? And the prophets are dead? Whom makest thou thyself? Who you think you are? Nigga. You know that's us. Who you think you are? It's just written in another way, but same way I'm saying it. And don't get twisted because I said nigga. Go to Acts 13 and 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that was called nigger. So they called us nigger long before you was born. And Lucius of Cyrene and Mania, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul, call us all niggers. So now, going back to St. John 8:53, art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead? Whom makest thou thyself? Who you think you are? Who did he say he was? Verse 58. Mashkoshai said unto them, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. That's your I am right there. But if you can't see him in the volume of the book, he tell you the volume of the book is written of him. You can't see him. You can't find it. We just found him right here in the Apocrypha tonight. The Son of the Most High. Right there in the Apocrypha. And where? In the Old Testament. Speaking of him. That's not coming back as a man. But if you can't see spiritually the mysteries of the Spirit, as we read previously in the beginning, then you won't see this. Then he said, before Abraham was, I am. He just exists. Because when he came in the flesh, he said, before Abraham was even thought about, I am. Because he's the first creation of the Most High. Look. Then took they up stones to cast at him. But the Mashkoshai hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. He got away. So that's just real talk. I mean, spiritually, you have to see this to be able to understand that the Most High always, I mean, he told you, look, just so you understand, those that might not know. Some of you should already know this. Hopefully you remember. St. John 1:18. Because it's right there. He say, I am that I am. Say, no man have seen the Most High at any time. I'll read you again. No man have seen the Most High at any time. One more time for understanding, because a lot of y'all be talking about, I see God. They put God there, which is dog spelled backwards. But you don't understand what it's saying. Most of the time it's saying Alahayim, the powers. Even in the Quran it say, we did this and we did that and we did this and we did that. In Cal 40 and down. I mean, it's saying we. Don't say I, it say we did this. We opened up the Red Sea and let you cross, Israelites. Listen, no man have seen the Most High at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he have declared him. Just like Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, and Michael. Those 4 archangels. The 7, but those are the 4 that he allow us to mainly deal with and teach about. Because they're the ones that's written. So, nobody seen the Most High. But you have those that are Gentile-minded of our people. They think the Most High is that man that they open up the Bibles and see in there, that so-called white man. And they think that this is Hamashiach Yahushua and the 12 apostles, that this lie. It's a lie. I mean, I have to deal with a lot of different things because I'm dealing with the mindset. The mindset of our people that claim to be Gentiles and don't know this Bible. 1 Maccabees 3:48. And laid open the book of the law, which is the Bible, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. There it is. Here it is. laid open the book of the law of the Most High, wherein the heathen sought to paint their image in picture form. There it is, right there. Until this day. Ain't nobody crying about that. Ain't nobody going against that. You can't say you love the Most High, you love Mashiach, you ain't going against that. That's what it say. They gon' the 144,000 gonna be Mashiach gonna be more exalted. If that don't bother you, you ain't gonna be no 144,000. You ain't putting that, you ain't exalting him to put that down. You gonna be no 144,000. Forget that. Understand this. But our people in the Gentile mind, state of mind, oh yeah. So go back to Deuteronomy 28. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, listen, unto the voice of the Most High thy power, which is what? The word of the Most High. We know who the word of the Most High is. Most High have a voice, and from a voice come words. To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So let's jump to verse 64. Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there, when we be scattered among these nations, thou shalt serve other gods. Because it tells you in Psalm 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. That's why I say you're going to serve other gods. Their religions, their beliefs. Like I showed you how when Antiochus came into power, Israel so wicked, they went to him to have a license to sin so they could sin and couldn't nobody do nothing to them. They changed their names from Israelites to Greeks. Why you say the Jew and the Greek? You know, all the rest of the wicked ones that was calling themselves by all kind of names. Except for Israelites. It was against the law to call yourself an Israelite. So he said, you're going to scatter us from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, other idols, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That wood is Christianity. Because you buy a church, you got to put that wooden cross up there. You got to put Tammuz up there, representing Nimrod and Semiramis' son. Nimrod, Semiramis' son, that had sex with his mother, that created this son, Tammuz. That's what that T is for. That cross is for Tammuz. Ain't no cross, that's a T. Mashiach was hanged on a tree. You wasn't hanging on no cross. It's hanging on a tree. Acts 3. Acts 5:30. Acts 5:30. The power of our fathers, who's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, raised up a Mashiach Yahushua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Hanged on a tree. So that's that Christianity. That T, y'all wearing that cross for Tammuz. Idolatry. Has nothing to do with a Mashiach Yahushua. He was hung on a tree. As it is written. So he say he's going to scatter